All right, what's going on, guys? So we are about 4 days out. Right now it's Tuesday, and our meet is Saturday. Um, Today we got deadlift and bench. So we're gonna do some really easy stuff today. So I got 315 loaded on the bar already. We've already been warmed up, all that stuff. So we're only gonna do a 4x1 today. So, and I want to talk about kind of why I picked a 4x1. Kind of why we picked what we did. So we're only a couple days out, obviously. So we want to keep the load pretty light because we don't want to do anything too taxing before the meet because we don't go into the meet like fatigued or anything like that. So we're going to keep the load super light today. But also, 4x1. The reason why we're doing singles, obviously keeps intensity pretty low, especially when you keep the load this low. So doing a 4x1, the singles are going to keep the intensity relatively low while still giving us good practice of what we're going to do at the meet. So in my head too, at a meet, we really have 4 lifts that matter. We have obviously our 3 on the platform, but I think our last warm-up matters as well. I think how you treat that last warm-up is going to kind of dictate how it goes. Because obviously how that warm-up goes sometimes will also dictate your day. Where if that last warm-up set, you don't move it with, good intentions, then I'm going to argue that that first attempt is like your your last warm-up. If that makes sense. Like the last warm-up should be where you get like in the zone, you really think, you go through the commands in your head almost. You have somebody even calm for you. It's super helpful. Like that's where you want to be, is like the fourth, like your first real attempt should be your last warm-up set. That last single you hit before you got on the platform. That's where like, for one, you're going to tell where the day is at, I've warmed up before on different lifts and known during warm-up, this ain't going to go well. Like I've known getting on down on the bench and taking like even the last couple, but taking that last warm-up right before we go on the platform, knowing this is not going to go good today. And it really didn't. But also like my second meet, I got on deadlift and I pulled my last single and I did. And I was like, oh, wow, like this is actually going to be a very good day. And it ended up being a pretty decent day for me on deadlift, especially for me, for the way that things went. So I kind of want to do a 4x1 because I wanted to, in my head, mentally mimic where I wanted it to be. So I want to like, in my head, what I'm doing is I'm picturing, okay, this one, we're in the warm-up room. We got 405 on for deadlift. Let's go through it. Let's do it. We pulled it. Okay. Now we have our first attempt. We're going out to the platform. We're setting up on all that stuff. Like that's kind of where I want to be here. And I want to be very consistent with my form. I want to be really focused about it, which honestly, it sounds absolutely crazy, but now I'm like kind of used to it. So kind of talking my way through it, or at least talking during it like this, gets me like, it's so like such a, it gets me focused in such a way. Yeah, giving ourselves 4 kind of attempts here to mimic the meet. To kind of walk through it that way. Getting out on the platform is not like so foreign. And I've been to this meet before. I didn't compete at it, but I've been to it. So I can already picture how it's going to be kind of laid out and how things are going to look. And I feel like that helps. Especially like deadlift, not so much because you've already went through squat and bench. But especially on squat, like Sunday, we took out our last warm-up set. We took out 405 for single. And honestly, like, I had to stop and like really think for a sec. Like, okay, I need to get myself like in the mindset of like we're at the meet. And I'm picturing myself, this as my last warm-up. Or I'm picturing myself on the platform a little bit. That way when you get there, it's almost like you walk through it a little bit. That way you kind of know like kind of what to expect. Because definitely your first squat opener, first meet, for sure is like very like, I don't know, it's very nervous. You're very nervous. It's very quick. Like you feel like you're on the platform for like 40, like 4 seconds. Like I barely even remember getting commands. For like any of it. Like my first squat, I can't remember getting underneath the bar. I can't remember squatting it. I don't know how it moved until like afterwards, until I looked at like videos and stuff. Like I had no idea. It moves so quick. So this to me helped me in my last prep. And we're using it again more. I'm getting more intentional with it. Like I said, this whole week leading up, we have hit our last warm-up sets or our openers and all that stuff leading into the meet. So that way we know what to expect. Like we know what we're getting ourselves into. We know like how things should or shouldn't or will or won't like move. If that makes sense. So today, like we're gonna do this, and then after this, we are gonna do bench, and I'm gonna warm up to a single, and I'm gonna take my last warm up attempt out as a single. We're gonna take, we're just gonna make it easy. We're gonna take 275 out today for single. That way I don't lose the heavy factor that we've been doing. If you guys have been keeping up with my stuff for bench, I've been doing like my top stuff on Saturdays, like my heavy stuff on Saturdays, and then Tuesdays, it's only a close grip day, and I've really been pushing my close grip. So my close grip RPY follows my main bench. My main bench is just the first one. It's the one that the days leading up to it, I put in the easier stuff, you know. So I still want to keep that intensity high. My body is very used to hitting very high intensity, high load sets twice a week. And I don't want to lose that skill. So we're going to hit, after this, we're going to hit our opener, or not, sorry, our last warm up on bench. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to walk ourselves through of like, we're warming up for the meet. Before I show this top set, welcome to my channel. My name is John Mahaffey. I've been powerlifting for 5 years now. I'm kind of an amateur powerlifter, coach, enthusiast, whatever you want to call it. So my main thing here is normal training. You know, I work out in my garage gym. I'm married. I have a full-time job. I have kids, so my schedule changes. Things change. I do all my own programming, which updates, you know, week to week sometimes. So a lot of that to me showcases like just what normal really is. Really wish more lifters, advanced lifters, you know, more like professional lifters, I wish they were more transparent with how their day-to-day really affected their training and life. Really wanted to be transparent when it came to my programming. If you like this stuff, subscribing to my channel helps me out a ton. Liking the video helps me out a ton. Let's get back to the workout and let's see what we can do in this top set. Flour. All right, single move super well. Just Just got an easy 2x4 after this, 225. All I did basically for one of my normal bench days, like just as a third bench day type of thing, I would normally just do like a 3x4. So all we did is we replaced the first set with a single. And we just did a 2x4 instead after. And instead of doing like 240 on a day like today, which I normally do after deadlifts, we just decided just to do 225. Easy ways to manage fatigue, but still get a good amount of stimulus out of it. So we're gonna do one more set of this. Also, great way to build confidence. I mean, 225 is moving like this. I can't imagine that heavier weights won't fly, right? I mean, now a lot of the stuff, like these accessories, I don't even mean it like negatively, but a lot of us kind of just going through the motions right now. And I don't mean that like maybe mentally, but I mean that like kind of literally and physically. Like we use certain movements to build strength, right? And that comes a lot of stimulus and a lot of fatigue. But there is a point where, like, I notice that whenever I stop doing certain exercises, I start losing mobility in certain areas, if that makes sense. So the second I stop doing a lot of like, you know, like adductor stuff, hip flexor stuff, or even like certain types of squats like belts or hacks or whatever, sometimes I lose, like I'll lose like hip mobility. I'll lose mobility like, or even like stability in my squat. So I still want to do the same movements. So we kind of want to go through the motions, if that makes sense. Not mentally, not like, oh, we're just doing what you got to do, like type of thing. But a lot of it is like literally go through the motions of what we are used to doing. Now things still drop off. I'm not going to do like belt squat today. But generally I know that like my lower body will fall off, just not yet. Like I know personally for me, like my lower body takes a while to like fall off. Maybe not so much mobility like in my hips and adductors, but that's mostly with like mobility drills and stuff. But like I said, right now in the previous video, one of my most fatiguing lift right now is squat. So a lot of this is I'm trying to make up for squat. So we took like bell squats out today. But I'm gonna squat right before the meet to make sure my skill is there. But also just to give my lower body a time to like catch up. Mostly like my lower back and quads. I just need them to like get a minute finally to breathe, because I've never let off the gas. I've just been going and going and going, especially at some of these muscle groups. So this kind of gives me a second to like come back, right? Lat pullover is a good example. We've been going heavier and heavier with these. And this week we did 45 pounds. We did it for 2 sets of 10. We could have probably done it for, sets of 30, 35. But it gave us a good movement to make sure our shoulder mobility is the same. We're still using that. I mean, it's like when we bench, like we're kind of using that movement. So we don't want to lose it and not do anything, but I don't want to go too high in intensity and low and stuff. So we can kind of keep things kind of in check by lowering the weight, taking a rep out, or a couple reps, taking a set out, stuff like that. So we still want to go through the movements and the motions with that stuff like in that way. So, but super quick, super easy workout, nothing crazy. Again, we're 4 days out. We don't need to be killing ourselves, but also I don't want to do nothing. I also don't want to just come in, bench 135 2 times, rack it and call it a day. I want a bit of a struggle. I want not a struggle. I want a bit of like fatigue there, but nothing I can't recover from in like a 2-day span, basically. So we got Thursday is our very last day before the meet that we get to train. We're gonna bench 225 for a 3x3. We're gonna squat 315 for a 3x3, do some tricep push downs, and do some lat pull downs. Done. That's it. Those are all 4 movements that, for one, the squat I get more skill. It's a pretty light load. Just keep my legs kind of fresh. But bench, tricep push downs, and lat pull downs, I know I can recover from very, very quickly because I've done it before. So we're gonna do that stuff. That's all we got, and this will be the end of the prep. One more day, and the prep is technically kind of over. And then we have the meet. So I'll see you guys in the next video. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I post this stuff 4 times a week. I know we're coming up on the end of prep, but after the meet, I'll continue to post. I'm still gonna do it. I'm still gonna be in here, so might as well, right? So, I don't know, follow along. Like I'm pretty transparent with what I have, what I'm saying, is what I'm doing. It's in a way, to be honest with you, like I'm pretty open. I'm a pretty open book. So if I think something's a good idea, then I say it's a good idea. And then when it's no longer a good idea, I go, that wasn't a good idea. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just how I feel like I've been with my training. I'm pretty upfront about it. So if you like that stuff, subscribe, like the video. It helps me out a ton. So other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video on Thursday. And then I will see you guys Saturday at the meet. So that's it. There's no outro around here. So the video just kind of cuts off.